Happy, what's it, Friday. Happy Friday to all you beautiful people. My name is Simone, the student teacher. I help educators and leaders tell their story through written and verbal communication, according to Jeremiah 20 and 9. But if I say I'll never mention the Lord or speak in his name, his words burn my heart like a fire. I'm trying to hold it in and I just can't do it. So I want to say happy Free Yourself Friday today. Hope you guys are doing well. I want to come on really quick and make a live video. I've had some fun posting a lot of leadership lessons I've learned over the years, posting a lot of things. Like, it's throwback messages that's been in my phone for a while. It's new to a lot of you guys because you're like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. Oh my God, I can't believe she posted. But oh my God, let's all believe together that everything I posted in the last couple of days came from Seminary. It wasn't no it wasn't nobody hacking my phone or hacking my page. It was a thought and experiences from the student teacher. And I wanted to share that with some of you beautiful people to help set the people free. So I want to come on really quick to share some more of my beautiful, beautiful lessons that I've learned. One thing I've learned is that when you stay silent about a thing, when you try to ignore things, it doesn't make things go away. It doesn't mean that it's not happening. It means sometimes we just don't address them. And if people don't share their experiences, and let me first say, social media, Facebook, Instagram, IG, Twitter, Clubhouse, all of those things, that's not your accountability partner. This doesn't take away from really having people that can speak into your life. This doesn't take away from you going to maybe get therapy or counseling or mentoring or have a a spiritual mother, a spiritual father, a big mama, a little mama, a big daddy, a little daddy, whoever you have that can speak into your life. This doesn't take away from it. But when you share your story and you share the things that have happened to you and that you have overcome, it blesses other people, because there's a lot of people who don't tell their story. There's a lot of people who don't share what they're going through, and then it makes them feel like they're the only one, or they so bad, or they so terrible, or they can't believe it, or they don't want to expose their family or expose their friends or expose people in ministry. But it's nothing wrong with you telling your truth. Hey, how you doing? I'm happy to see you, Miss, because I know you told me your first name the other day. I forgot, excuse me. But it doesn't mean that you should not tell your own story. Tell your own truth. Like, I tell my own story. I tell my own truth. And when you can stand and tell your own truth and your story after you come through whatever you got to come through, testimonies are definitely meant to be shared. Yes, ma'am. When you come through your stuff, it helps other people. It really do help other people. It may ruffle the feathers of some people. And I always say, well, no, I'm just thinking, so if it ruffles the feathers of people, that means they must be chicken. No, I'm just saying, no, they're not chicken. Majida, that's right. I love that name. I love that name. I really love that name. Can you tell me what it means? So yeah, so if y'all read some of my posts, and sometimes it take a day or 2 or 3 or 4 days before it come down your timeline. So maybe you ain't seen them all, but when you see them, just know it's coming from a good place. It's a place that I want to help some people. So I'm gonna share with you 6 leadership lessons. Yeah, I tell my story to encourage and give God back the glory. Absolutely, Miss Majida. Absolutely. So I'm gonna share with you 6 leadership lessons that you're very welcome. 6 leadership lessons that I have on my phone. I typed them all up. It's here. I have and I made a post of that. I have 2020 notes in one part of my phone, and then I have about 60 something notes in the other part of my phone. So these are things that I wrote over time. These are things that I've seen over time. Oh, I love that. Daughter of the King, glory or powerful. I love that. Where are you from? Are you from an Arab nation? Where are you from? So I'm gonna share these things with you. And a lot of times sometimes people can think, I did a post yesterday. I did several posts, but one of the posts I was holding up an Eminem bag. Back in like April, May, when people started going on lockdown and schools were closing down, I took a picture as a representation Thank you. Do you know my students, when I wore my head down the other day, I was like, oh my gosh. Now, they do be chatting to me. But this day, the whole Zoom chat was blown up. Oh my gosh, I like your hair, Miss Walden. I said, okay, thank you. I'll start wearing it down more. But I took that picture as a visual representation for them about M&Ms. I use it as a vocabulary strategy, right? Multiple meanings. So for some people, when you post something, when you share something, when you share your testimony, when you share how you feel, oh, okay, cool. Hey, New York in the house. One of my clients from Brooklyn, and she says, Simone, every time I see you online, I always say, she from Brooklyn. She said, when I talk to you, I say, no, she's not from Brooklyn. So shout out to NY. So M&Ms can mean multiple meanings. Some people will have one meaning about what you say, what you do, how you responding, and then other people gonna have a different meaning to it. And what I believe as just individually, that you have to be able to stand in your own conviction and not get caught up in what the meaning somebody takes from it. If you know you coming from a good place, sometimes people are going to be offended. Sometimes people are going to take it the wrong way. Sometimes people going to think you talking about them. Sometimes you really may be talking about them. Boogie down Bronx, right? But you have to just make up in your mind, listen, I'm sharing this because I truly want to help free somebody. I truly want to give God the glory. I truly want to, be able to expose the enemy, or whatever your reasoning is, whatever your reasoning is for sharing and doing what you do. As long as I believe it's authentic, do it. You have people who are evil and mean and nasty who say what the heck they want to say, right? And then sometimes they expect you, because you're kind of mild-mannered, or you're nice and sweet, that you shouldn't say certain things. Let me stick to these notes because I got to go in a second, because I got to meet with a beautiful client at 3:30. So here are 6 leadership lessons that the student teacher have learned. And it is not in a particular order. It's not in a particular time frame. I've just learned these over the time. God definitely has a audience for your testimony. So Miss Majida, I will encourage you, keep sharing it. Whatever it is, keep sharing your story. Keep sharing your testimony. Shout out to my friends. I made a post Wednesday about a drive-by plate drive. Right, I made a decision. I wasn't going to go home. So I was chilling. So one of the beautiful mothers, and I always say this, and it's true, women 50 and older love me and I love them. So she responded to me, do you really want to play? I really do. She gave me her address and I went and picked that thing up yesterday. It was so good. I ate that plate on 95 driving to my other friend's house. So you never know who will be kind to you, when you'll be kind. You never know. You could be the only person being kind to somebody on a specific given day. So shout out to Miss Nicole Diaz. Thank you for that food. It was so good. So then I went to my other friend's house, and she had been telling me about her hoodies, right? So I said, Edge, where my hoodie at? So she gave me, she went in the house, got the hoodie, came back out, boom, 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 the cash out to her. I love her hoodies. Seeking validation nowhere, right? Sometimes you got to go into the mirror, or you got to click on some type of something that's going to reflect yourself and validate yourself and say, girl, you are beautiful. You are awesome. You are smart. You are brilliant. You are forgiving. You are loved. Whatever that thing is. Hey, Minister Amy, I am handsome. I am a good man. I'm a good father. Whatever that thing is, sometimes the only validation that you're going to get is from yourself. And so you got to be able to lift yourself up and encourage yourself to step out and do things that you see other people do. Like, I'm not really sure. Listen, validate yourself. So here are 6 leadership lessons that the student teacher have learned, Simone Walden have learned over the years, that I pray will help some of you now, especially as you navigate the way things are, the way things are going to be, the things that may have happened to you that's created and shaped your life. Hey, Miss Carol, how you doing? So here's the first leadership lesson that I learned. People who have been in leadership roles longer than you can become jealous and intimidated by new leaders. Yeah, the first one is Miss Majida, people who have been in leadership roles longer can become jealous and imitated by new leaders. This is one not up here, but let me just get you, so it's going to be 7. If you are waiting to get a title in order to operate in a position, you don't need that title. If you are waiting to get a title to operate in a position, you don't need the title. Titles don't make people. If you have a title without a person to operate in it, it's just a title. But people are going to still be people, whether they have a title on their name or not. 2, people who disagree and refuse to address their issues with a leader can become defiant and passive aggressive towards them. Thank you, Miss Majida. Old leaders can become jealous of new leaders. That's for real, for real. And do you know sometimes people who leadership is not all about you, it's about the people that you serve. Hey there, Miss Carol. Number now, and why I agree with that, as a leader in my own right in certain things, titles don't make the leader. I believe that it's definitely about the people that you serve. But if the leader is not taking care of themselves and their needs are not being met, they're not going to be a good leader. You know, as a leader, you got to take care of the people that you're serving. But I also believe that when you have good leaders, take care of them as well. Check on them as well. It shouldn't always be a take, but it can be a mutual beneficial relationship where everybody is happy in the situation. Number 3, you will have to make decisions that are not popular among all people, but are beneficial for the whole of people. You may not always make decisions that's popular amongst the people, but it's going to be beneficial for the whole of people. And sometimes people don't see the full vision. Sometimes you don't even, or you can't even explain or articulate the full vision of where you're going. But sometimes you have to make decisions. And as you get there and you start leading people, they'll kind of see, oh, I understand why they did that. Oh, I understand why they said that. Oh, I understand why they operated like that, right? So sometimes you just have to make decisions that's going to be beneficial for the whole of leaders. Oh, yeah, leaders must do self-love and self-help. Absolutely. Number 4, leaders should not privately praise someone while publicly ridiculing and embarrassing them. Leaders should not do this public ridicule and embarrassment of people, but then privately they want to try to like build them up and say, oh, well, I had to do whatever. People are people. We all have feelings. We all have emotions, and nobody wants to be put on Front Street. Nobody wants to be embarrassed. Nobody wants to be ridiculed in front of people. Now, when you have a relationship with people, sometimes it may call for that, but as much as you can, when you have a relationship with people, you make sure you pull them to the side. If they're doing something that you see, hey, is not right, pull them to the side and let them know, listen, this is not right. Now, if they're doing something publicly that's really leading people astray and causing harm, then yeah, that's something totally different. But just to, want to embarrass people, put people on Front Street to try to make it seem like, I'm this big bad leader. People ain't looking for big bad leaders. They're looking for people that can serve them well, that can relate to them, that can help them, and that's really genuinely supportive of them. Repeat number 2, please. Number 2 was people who disagree and refuse to address their disagreements with leaders become defiant and passive aggressive towards them. Number 5, and I'm gonna have to go in like 7 minutes. Leaders should not get upset when someone stands up for themselves publicly after they've been embarrassed or talked about publicly. So if someone's going to put somebody on Front Street publicly, they can't get mad if somebody decides that they're going to respond back publicly. If you embarrass me publicly, then I may just respond back to you publicly. That's a lot of times people say, oh, don't worry about or don't say anything, but yet then they say what they want to say. Like, what the heck? For you to be a great leader, you definitely have to be a great father. I agree so much, Amy. I've worked with people who they was just non-compliant, didn't want to do anything that people in leadership asked them to do. And the moment that they got a title, first of all, when they got the title, I was shocked. Like, you what? That they got the position and then they want everybody to just comply. And it's like, I remember when you didn't even come to meetings prepared. I remember when you didn't even respond. I remember when you totally ignored what people asked you to do. But now all of a sudden now it's like, hey, I want everybody to follow. That doesn't always happen. Uh and I know, as a believer, people talk about take the high road, turn the other cheek, forgive people. I believe you can still forgive people and still speak up for yourself. I believe that you can forgive people 70 times 70 a day and still stand up for yourself. A lot of times people think that if you stand up for yourself that you must not be godly or righteous. That's not true. Don't allow people to walk all over you. Don't allow people to take advantage of you. Sometimes I understand why people will ignore somebody, because it's like, I better ignore this situation. I better ignore this versus saying something that, I'm going to repent for later. So I just ignore all your craziness for a time. And then you have to address it, because built up frustration, built up ignoring something, eventually people just explode and go off. And you like, why are you going off on this one little thing? But it's really not one little thing. It's things over time that people are just like fed up with. And then the last one, see, that's why I gotta stick to these notes. Forgive and still have a backbone. Oh, I love that, Miss Vegeta. Forgive and still have a backbone. um, and number 6. Oh, I love being a. Let me take a picture of all your things, Miss Vegeta. We gonna do the recap. This is what Miss Vegeta said. I didn't say that, but she got some good stuff over here. Let me take a picture. This is what I do. This is what I do on the Zoom when I'm with my students. They say good stuff. I'll be taking pictures of it like, oh my God, that's so good. And then I go and tell my next class, look, this is what somebody said in my class. This is what one of your classmates said before. So thank you so much. This is some good stuff. You a writer? I can tell. I can definitely tell. And I can tell that you just not a writer. You a great writer. So here's the last one, because I done got all off. People will tell you not to say something, but they say whatever they want to say. Some people will tell you, "Oh, don't say anything. Don't mention it." But then they say what the heck they want to say, and you're like, "What the crap?" So, I want to share those leadership lessons with you to help free somebody over this nice, sweet weekend. So I'll be back, sharing more leadership tidbits. I'll be back later on tonight talking about unmute yourself. I shared something with in an email just now to some beautiful people about 2 messages that I got. One was yesterday and one was today. And neither one of them are things that you would wish on anybody. These are not things that make people want to celebrate and make people feel good and happy, right? In fact, it makes people cry and be depressed and be sad. But keep telling your truth. One of the greatest things we can do is not hold in our stories and not hold in. Yep, that's right, Miss Vegeta. That people are hurting. People are going through. Not all people are hurting. Not all people are going through. Not all people are sad. But indeed, there are people that are. And so, while I want to have this whole weekend where I just released a lot of stuff on my phone because it felt good to me, I'm still going to be, sharing things that's going to help people and encourage people to listen. You got to tell your truth, and then you got to get help for the things that you're struggling in, because there's a lot of people that's going through some stuff, and a movement, not a moment. I love it. There's a lot of people that's going through a lot of stuff, and if just having people that they can talk to, sometimes all people. Oh, yeah. The Bible says if you have agreement with someone, go to them. So why should I be quiet if you offended me? Speak up to strengthen a relationship. I love that. Speak up to strengthen the relationship. Speak up to strengthen a relationship. And for some people, it's going to be stronger. For some people can be like, oh, well, they get all sad. So I encourage you to keep sharing your truth, keep sharing your story, whatever that is, And don't think that it's so small or, oh, nobody's going to care. Somebody's going to care. Somebody needs to hear what it is that you have to say, because there's nothing new under the sun. Your story could be a benefit to somebody else. Accountability is so true. Miss Vegeta, I have it. Keep it up, Miss Kara. Okay. I have a whole thing about accountability in my phone. Matter of fact, let me see. I got 2 minutes. I can't be late for my meeting. Let me share something with you guys about accountability that I wrote in my phone. Just because Miss Najita said that. Accountability celebrates your wins and checks your wrongs. Now I'm giving y'all part of what I'm writing in this new anthology we're doing. It's called The Heart of a Leader, the person behind the title. I'm really thinking about launching Unmute Yourself Volume 2 because so many people got so many stories, especially from the stuff that was told today. And the only reason why I'm not mentioning it right here, right now, is because it's so fresh. I don't want the people who trust me with their stories to feel like, oh my God, why is she saying it out? Not even that I would give their name or anything like that, but I'm just very careful. Hey, Tamika, if a person is mature, they will be okay with you expressing yourself, even if they disagree with you. Keep up the post, love them. Thank you so much, Majida. I think I will. Accountability celebrates your wins and checks your wrongs. Accountability does not ignore you or overlook you. Accountability helps and holds your hand when needed and necessary. Accountability lets you go when you're ready. But accountability does not force decisions upon you. Accountability gives you the truth or gives you the tools to decide what is truth, what is righteous, and what is not. Accountability takes time out for you. Accountability allows both parties to be vulnerable with one another and not guilt trip on a decision. Some people need accountability and not a social media platform or a following. Some people need someone to take the time to help build them up before they destroy themselves and others who are following them. Accountability works. Accountability works when there's a mutual respect for one another and not a power struggle or ego building mentality taking place. Accountability works when what you prayed for shows up for them and you're not mad because they gave God the glory and credit and not you. Accountability does not point you to them. Accountability ultimately points you to Him. You have to decide which Him are they pointing you to. So that's just one of the excerpts I'm going to write in my chapter for the new anthology, The Heart of a Leader, the person behind the title. Accountability is very powerful. Guys, if I didn't have accountability, I'll be coming, posting, and saying all kinds of things. But the first thing, I'm accountable to Him. I have to give an account for my life. And if I'm not living my life based on my convictions and my passions, and I'm just living my life because of other people, when I stand before the Lord, I can't say, oh, well, yeah, Majida said, oh, yeah, Miss Carol told me this. This is what Tanika said. Oh, Miss Joyce thought it was a good idea. You have to give an account for your own life. So you got to take accountability for your life. And sometimes you learn as you go. You bump your head, you stump your toe, and then you realize that's kind of like a rhyme. You learn as you go, you bump your head and you stump your toe. Accountability works. I'm telling you, accountability is powerful. So find you some accountability. Exactly, an account for your life and your action. We have to give an account for the things that we do. We have to take responsibility for our lives, like truly, truly. So I just wanted to share that with you beautiful people. So tomorrow I'm releasing a 30% off sale for the anthology if you want to be in the entry. So that is like $180 off the entry for Saturday. Sunday, it'll be $120 off the entry. And then Monday, it'll be $60 off the entry. And then, of course, December 1st, it goes back to the regular price of $5.99 an entry. And December 1st, we're doing our webinar, How to Overcome the Dirty Yes, prioritizing like a genius, prioritizing you like a genius. And so that's a free webinar. I don't even know the website today to go to right now, but that's coming up on Monday, on December 1st, sorry, Tuesday. So I'll be sharing more of those beautiful things. I'm rocking my friend's hoodie today. Seeking validation nowhere, always Angie. You can go to my website, 78wall.com. You can get any of the books. You can get Unmute Yourself. You can get the Pretty Heel t-shirts that's in black and white, or the hoodie. You can get it for yourself, for your friends. Unfortunately, there is no sale on them because the price is already a sale price, so I can't go down on that anymore. Some of my clients we've helped over the last 2-3 months. She has a book. Her name is Nikita Campbell. Her name is Faithfully Feel here on Facebook, Redemption. Her book is powerful. The story is amazing. I promise you, when you read this book, you won't want to put it down until you're done. And then you'll be asking her, when are you going to write the next one? It's in a powerful book. It's called Redemption. One of my other clients, she is finishing up her first children's book. This is the first children's book I published under student teachers called Everybody Gets Nervous. Whether you going online to do a Facebook Live or you talking to somebody in person, everybody gets nervous. So it's a children's book, but it has a great message behind it. So she'll be posting her link soon to get that book. And then, of course, to unmute yourself with these beautiful women, Tamika, Miss Carol, Constance, India, Miss Mona, Veronica, Miss Lantonette, and Sanseria, sorry. Unmute yourself. You can go to my website to get this CindyWalden.com. You can go to Amazon to get the book. But it's a powerful book for some of you who are looking to share your story and get enough confidence and I don't know the other word to tell your story. Read how other people are sharing their story. Miss Lantonette, I use this example. She shared her story after 50 years of not telling it. That's why I made this post and I put it on Instagram. I put it here. You have to be a safe person in order to create a safe space. People talking about trauma, and this is really what this all came from one day. I remember last year at our staff meeting, we was talking about at the beginning of the year, talking about trauma-informed schools and trauma-informed classroom. And I never really raise my hand and say too much out. I just sit back and laugh and take lots of pictures. That's what I do during staff meetings. I take a lot of pictures, right? And I just have fun. And then my coaches be like, wow, we got to pay attention. We are paying attention. Let's take a picture and have fun. Let's capture this moment, right? But I raised my hand that day and I was like, listen, I know we talk about trauma-informed classrooms, but you have to be a trauma-informed person. Because if you're not a safe person, students ain't going to open up to you. If you're not a safe person, people ain't going to want to come and talk to you about their stuff. They're not going to want to come and share their stuff with you. So instead of trying to create a safe space, be a safe person. That means whatever space I take you in, it's going to be safe for you to open up. So it could be through a Zoom. It could be through a Facebook Live. It could be through a text message. It could be through a phone call. It could be through a FaceTime. But if you're a safe person, you can create a safe space wherever you are. Whatever you are, boldness and courageous. That's right, Miss Joyce. You got to be bold and courageous. So be a safe person. That way you can create a safe space for somebody. Be a loving person. That way you can create a loving space for somebody. Be a bold person. That way you can create spaces where other people are bold. Whatever it is that you want to be, whatever it is you're trying to help accomplish, and get other people to know, be that. And then once you're that, it's easy that it transfers over to a place. I was in a situationship, and I call it situationship. But I remember this is what this person said to me. They said, you're like my peace pillow. It's like peace is coming to see me, right? Because I'm a peaceful person. So when I show up, it becomes now a peaceful place, right? So whatever you are, it's going to show up in those spaces. It's going to show up in those places, wherever you go. So I love you guys today. Be blessed in Jesus' name. I'm going to come back this weekend, talk more about unmuting, more about some leadership lessons that I have learned. And I consider myself a new leader, right? A new leader who I've been given responsibilities and leadership roles and titles and all this stuff that I didn't even want. I be like trying to back out of them, like, I don't want that. Don't call me that. I don't want to do this, right? I just be backing out of them, right? But sometimes it is what it is. So love you guys. Be blessed in Jesus' name. Share this with your friends. Share this with your with your followers. Tell somebody that you love them today. Go and encourage somebody today. Tell them if they want to be pretty healed, to go to CindyWalden.com and be pretty healed. Get a shirt, get a hoodie, buy one from your friend, buy one from your girlfriend. If you want to be a part of this new anthology, tomorrow I'm going to release the sale code link here, and boom, you can go be a part of this next anthology. And let me tell you one last thing. I know this says last thing. This book right here, I've been reading this for a while. It's called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. I like his information. I was talking to my best friend today, and I was telling her, I would finish reading. I had some things yesterday, day before I watched Tiny Houses. I've been watched on Tiny House in Private Practice. And I said, so today I binge read. I talked to my client, I have to binge read. And she says, what you reading? So I said, well, this is one of the books. She's like, oh my God, I'm reading this too. So me and my best friend reading the same book. She got the audio. I got the regular book. So I thought it was pretty cool. So I love you guys. I don't know what y'all reading. Listen, reading is beneficial for you. So if you don't read, I encourage you to read. Some people just don't read, and You miss out on a lot of information because you don't read. But reading is beneficial. And I ain't saying that because I'm a reading teacher by vocation. Reading is really beneficial for you. So love you guys. Be blessed in Jesus' name. Peace. And thank y'all for tuning in. Miss Majida, all of you, Miss Kara, all of you, Miss Joyce, Tanika, all you beautiful people. Amy, God bless you guys. Peace.